Hi guys, this is Mo Volans back for Audiotuts.com with another video tutorial. You may have guessed from all the different tutorials on the site at the minute that this month's chosen subject is MIDI. And I've already completed a tutorial on MIDI. It's actually a premium tute and it's covering MIDI controllers and using them to manipulate various synthesizers in various DAWs. But it also falls on me this month to complete a beginner's tutorial on MIDI and how to record it and edit it and create your own MIDI parts. So if you're an advanced user, you probably want to look away. This is probably not for you. But if you're a beginner that's maybe just got into a more complex DAW like Logic or Reason, then from say GarageBand or something, then this is probably ideal, especially if you've never recorded your own MIDI before. So what we're going to do is cover it in 5 steps. We're going to record some MIDI. In fact, we're going to load an instrument, sorry. We're going to record some MIDI. We're going to edit it, we're going to add some controller information, and then I'm going to show you how to layer it. So in these 5 steps, you know, hopefully it should get you going and get your creative juices flowing so you can create your own parts. So let's get straight into it. And you'll see here I've got a drum loop loaded. It's just something really simple, just to act as a sort of a click track almost. And I've got a synth loaded up already. But basically, in any DAW, load up a new synth, new instrument part, and you can then just load up any instrument you like. And we're going to be using internal soft synths. Obviously, you can use external hardware instruments, but it's easier to show you on screen using something like a soft synth. So I'm using the ES1, which is one of Logic's stock synthesizers, and we're going to click on the track. And it's just a case of playing in using a MIDI keyboard or a pad or whatever. You can draw things in, but for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to be playing things directly in. Now, make sure that you've got it selected, and on some DAW, you're going to have to make sure it's record armed. You can see the little R here. And once we've got the drum loop going, we can start to record some MIDI in. And it's just the same as recording audio. Just hit record. Once you've got a part like that, it's really easy to just double click into it. You can see the MIDI notes already appearing in the part. I'm just going to copy this. In Logic, it's just a case of grabbing the top right hand corner. It's just so it fills the whole region. Now, we've got 3 kinds of MIDI data here. In fact, 4 kinds of MIDI data. So we're on to our second stage already. We've loaded the instrument. We've now recorded the part. And moving on to the 3rd stage, we're going to start to edit it. But before I do, I want to show you the 4 different kinds of information. Now, it may not look like there's 4 kinds of information here, but there's actually 127 different MIDI controllers. But at the minute, all we're dealing with is note on and note off, which is when you hit the key, when you let go of it. So that's the little MIDI event there. So note on, note off, okay? Which note it's played on, so the note data is exactly where it is on the keyboard. You can see what I played. And then we've got velocity here as well. So we've got note on, note off, key, and velocity. Now, velocity is the first of the MIDI controllers we're dealing with, MIDI controller data numbers, and it's how hard we've hit the key. Now, at the minute, the synth's not really set up to deal with how hard you hit the key, but you can see and alter this just by dragging these around. Now, one thing I do want to alter straight away is the quantize. Now, where we've hit the key is also pretty apparent. You know, the timing of when the note on data occurred. And you can see it's all slightly off the grid. Now, with a part like this, I want it to be on the grid. So I'm going to just select everything. And we've got it on 16th notes already up here on quantize. And I'm going to hit quantize. And you can see everything moves in. So I'm going to undo that, just so you can see it happen again. And everything snaps into place. Now, if you're a beginner or you're not a very good keyboard player or whatever, for whatever reason, you might want to try using quantize because it's a really good way of just snapping everything into place. Now, everything should sound nice and tight. Okay, let's look at how we can edit this and, you know, what else we can do. Now, if you want to add some notes, they can just be copied. We can quite easily just add some octave notes in there, or you can draw them in. So using the pencil tool, and this is pretty much the same in most DAWs, we can just add some notes in here. Great, so we've edited our first MIDI part already. And the next thing I want to show you is adding controller data. Now, if I move the mod wheel up there, you can hear some modulation. And it's actually set up for vibrato at the minute. But what I tend to like to do is record this in on a separate track. Let me just close this away. Made a couple of new tracks for new instruments down there at the bottom in case we need them in a second. But I've also copied the original part just by using Alt. And now I can select that and I can use this new track to record some controller data on. And it's just the same as recording anything else. So now you can see the controller data. I just was moving the mod wheel while I was recording. And if we go to the controller lane and go to modulation, you can see exactly what I recorded. And I'm going to tidy this bit up a little bit. And you can see that happening in real time. And you can edit this in exactly the same way as you edit your parts. You know, just grab these points. And if you use the standard pointer tool, you know, you can click new parts, new handles in, and just edit exactly in the same way as you would with automation. If you want to know more about controller data, by the way, you know, you probably want to check out my premium tutorial, because this is obviously just a very quick overview of these 5 steps that I'm covering. Now we've got the controller data in place, I'm going to show you one last thing, and we're on to our 5th step, and that's layering. So just shooting through these very quickly. If we grab Alt and Shift in Logic, we can grab the part and we can make a ghost copy or an alias, and you can see it's all in italics. And this basically means that if we edit this original part, this one's going to be exactly the same. So let's just grab a new instrument, and we'll go with ES2, and we'll probably make a new bass here. Let's go with this hybrid. Now if we change the original part, it'll happen on both the layered part and the original. So there you go. In 5 easy steps, we've recorded some MIDI. Well, we've loaded our instrument, we've recorded some MIDI, we've added some controller data and edited the part, and then we've layered it as well. So that's a really fast introduction in how to record your own MIDI parts and edit them, and add some expression as well. Now you can do this in Cubase, you can do it in Reason, you can do it in Ableton. It's pretty much the same workflow for all of these DAWs. And if you're brand new to it, this should get you going and help you create your first MIDI part. So good luck, and as you progress, check out the other tutorials on the site, and leave any questions in the comments, and I'll see you next time.